Well, my friend, I am so honored that you took time during a holiday week to sit down and connect. It's
Yes.
been an honor to get to know you the little bit that we've communicated, and I'm excited about getting to learn more about you today.
Same here, brother. Same here.
I love it. So let's start at the beginning because I find that that's the best place to start.
Okay.
What's your story? I mean, where do you hail from? Give me the bird's eye view of who you are.
From a bird's eye view, if you were flying over North Carolina and you'd go over Greensboro and your next destination is Charlotte,
Hmm.
directly in between those 2 points is Salisbury.
Okay.
That's yeah. Right on I-85. It's just a nice little bedroom community to both of those cities.
Yeah.
Uh,
I'm very familiar now. I was born in Alabama,
mhm.
but I was born in 1982. I'm now 43 years old. My father, when I was 2 years old, took a church in Kernersville, North Carolina,
Kernersville, yes.
which was close to Winston-Salem, Greensboro.
Yeah, yeah.
So we lived there till like 1990. But my sister now lives in Charlotte, so I am very familiar with North
Yes.
Carolina, and I am part Tar Heel. There is Tar
You
Heel.
can't be, but well, you cannot be part Tar Heel. You
Yeah.
got to be all the way
All right.
because that means you part Duke, and we can't have that.
Oh, no, we can't do that. Can't do that. Well, that's cool. So you're from North Carolina. Now, is that
Yeah,
where you've been your whole life? Or
my whole life I've been here, a native. Um, I left well, my father died in '80,
okay.
and I watched my mom go through that terrible time of grieving. And at that time, I decided to go to the military. I
Mm,
thought I was going to be there all my life. I don't know why I wanted to go, but I just said, okay, I want to go to the military. Now, Adam, you have to know, I was one of those kids that was scared to be in the Boy Scouts because I thought that was going to make me go to the Army, you know?
right.
So here I go to the Army and with plans of being in there 20 years.
Okay.
After basic training in Kentucky, first time I ever been on a plane.
Wow.
Yeah. Kentucky in December and January for basic training. It was cold.
Hmm.
But afterwards, they flew me directly to San Antonio, Texas,
Okay.
and put me in the Academy of Health Sciences.
Wow.
I loved it.
Mm,
Studied psychology, country boy, just soaking it up. I was
yeah.
soaking it up. And so we had like a muster
Hmm.
formation. Everybody gets their assignments. And all I could think about was, getting close to my mom so I could at least check on her. And so Fort Campbell, Fort Fort Bragg,
Hmm.
down in South Carolina, and all that. I want to be in one of those places. And by virtue of my name being Stokes, I'm at the end of the line. Everybody I heard went to New Jersey, went to South Carolina, went to Virginia, and I'm thinking, oh, there's got to be some more for me. They get Stokes, Stokes, yes, Germany. I'm like, where's that? Is that anywhere near Greensboro? you know, Loved it, man. I spent 6 years in Europe.
Wow.
Did not want to come home.
Mm,
First month I was there, I joined a class to learn conversational Dutch
okay.
so that I could be in the economy. That's what we called it. I didn't want to hang around drunkard uh, servicemen all the time.
Yeah.
So I would go out into the economy and walk around and try to speak as much German as I could.
Mm,
And they were willing to, those are very good people. They were willing to teach you if you were trying to do, you
yeah.
know.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah. Eventually I got a penthouse apartment there, man. And I just worked in the army and lived in Germany, man, for 6 years.
Wow.
Yeah.
Beautiful country. I've never been.
Wow.
Everybody that I've met that served in Germany, because a lot of military friends, all of them say the same exact thing.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
I would walk home every day from my station uh, by the Schloss Castle. You may have heard of that. Uh, it was, man, you're talking about a river walk
Mm,
right beside that castle. It was gorgeous.
wow.
And from my apartment, I could see them celebrating their celebrations at fireworks over the castle. It was,
Mm.
I didn't know what I was enjoying at the time, you know?
You look back and you're like, those are the moments I wish I could just relive and appreciate maybe at a
Right,
level. Yeah,
right, right.
awesome. So what was after Germany? Did your enlistment time there end and you had to come back, or was it a choice that you made?
I ended my enlistment in Germany, flew back to the States. Within 2 weeks, I was hired as the first African American counselor in the Johnny McLeod Center in Charlotte,
Okay.
down on Remount Road.
Mm,
At that time, it was a methadone center.
mm-hmm.
Oh man, it was pretty wild
Good.
because cocaine had just begun its major grip at that time.
Yeah.
Uh, but all that happened because when I went to join the army, and this is in my book, so I won't elongate this piece, but
Sure.
I didn't know what I wanted to be. I just wanted to be gone, you know.
Yep.
And the guy gets up to go get my paperwork, and the wind blows all the papers off his desk.
Mm,
He had put up the windows because it's Indian summer, you know.
mm-hmm.
And when I was putting the papers back, I see this thing that says 91G. I had no idea what it was. I said, "Oh God!" When I looked at it, I felt it.
Mm,
I'm like, "Wow, okay." And when he comes back, I said, "That's what I want to be. I don't want to be a cook. I don't want to be anything else. That right there is what I want to be."
mm.
He said, "Show it to me," and I pointed to it, and he says, "You can't be that. I mean, just flatly, you can't do that."
Mm.
And of course, the first thing I thought is, yes, I can. You know, don't tell me what I can't do. You
Right.
know,
I'll show you different. Yep.
yeah. He said, no, you can't do that because, and I think he caught the vibe that no, it's not because you're an African American. It's just that you got to test into that position. There's only 1,000 of them in the entire military. So I won't take the test. He was getting mad at me. Like, okay, give up, man. You're not going to do it. I said, yeah, I want to do it.
Yeah.
So he had to give in because it's a volunteer army. And he said, okay, you got to come back this date, this time to take a battery of tests. I had no, nothing to get me ready for it.
Right.
I showed back up that day that he told me to come back. He put me in this room. It's like 8 other people in there. Number 2 pencil and a pamphlet
Mm.
of questions. Took me about 2.5 hours.
Wow.
And when I came out, I gave it to him, and he was like, okay,
Great.
I'll let you know.
Yeah.
He called me in about 2 weeks, and he was like, Kenneth Stokes, I need you to report to the recruiter's office on Thursday. Okay. I drove back to Charlotte. When I'm coming to the door, he's kind of looking dumbfounded.
Mm.
He said, you scored in the 98th percentile.
Wow.
Congratulations, you're going to be a 91G. I was like, what is that? It's a behavioral science specialist.
Wow.
So God took that opportunity to introduce me to the counseling field and the caregiving field that I had no idea I was good at.
Wow. And you
Two
never,
weeks?
before that, did you ever have an inkling that that was something that you wanted to do, or you just didn't know?
No,
Yeah.
no. I love people. You know, I could get along with everybody. Somehow I had this aura that drew people in. You know, um, I
Yeah.
didn't know. You know, so 2 weeks after getting out of the military, I'm hired as a counselor. And one day, Adam, I'm coming back from a group session,
Mm-hmm.
and I go in my office and I see like I didn't see it. It's like I imagined a ladder over in the corner
Mm-hmm.
of my office, and it's like climb that ladder.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm thinking, wow, every 2 years, every 2 years, I should try for a higher positioned
Mm-hmm.
placement. Every 2 years. I mean, I stayed there for 2 years, and then I saw they had this board with all the listings across the United States, and they had one in South Carolina, but it required a master's degree. I had a high school diploma,
Wow.
but I went and I got hired.
Mm.
I was a addictions counselor in South Carolina during Hugo, by the way.
Wow.
Yeah. 2 years later, I did it again.
Mm.
And this required a master's degree and preferably like so many years of counseling experience. And they hired me.
Mm.
So now I'm back in my hometown as a addictions 2 counselor. So, I'm like, wow, okay. But I did not know at that time it was a zeal that had been placed on me.
Mm-hmm.
It was my gift making room. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If you don't look at the circumstances or the list of prerequisites,
Mm-hmm.
God will take you where He wants you to be.
Mm-hmm.
And the prerequisites doesn't hold that chain over you. You know what I mean?
That's right.
Yeah. So
Yep.
I did that. One day I had a person come in my. You stop me now when I'm going too far, but
You good, bro.
one day I had a person come in my office after about a year and a half of being in that position. And quite frankly, I had a lot of personal issues myself, especially relationship issues.
Yeah.
I've been in some bad relationships, some of them my fault, some of them just bad.
Mm-hmm.
So I brought that to work with me. I usually try to not bring that to work. I brought that to work, and I was ready for a fight. Now, hey, you know, uh, my neck is up, your neck is up. Okay, we got time, you know. And sure enough, I had a client that was ready to go, and it was a female,
Mm.
and she came in there and she would not stop talking about everybody else's fault, and I'm trying to redirect her, and she wouldn't do it. So I just finally said, okay, gave her homework,
Mm-hmm.
come back. And when she left, she was huffed like I had cut her off, and I did. Um, but when she left, Adam, I said, I am tired of hearing everybody's problems. And when I said problems,
Mm.
something left. I
Mm.
felt it. I felt it. Something
Mm.
left me. And for the first time since I had become a 91G, I was by myself.
Wow.
And I knew it.
Mm.
I felt it. I mean, I could not overcome it.
Mm.
And I prayed, Lord, I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I'm sorry. Within 2 weeks, I was out of a job.
Mm. Wow.
Yeah, yeah,
Wow.
yeah.
I mean, it is obedience, the scripture says, is better than sacrifice.
Yes, sir.
And a lot of that self sacrifice in moments of frustration where and we're all human and we get there, you know, and it's taxing when you try to do it in your own strength
That's it. That's it right there.
because it'll make you want to give up.
Yep.
It'll make you tired.
Yes, it will.
But if we do what the scripture says, I mean, that's why I think the name of your book is so beautiful because we were created. Our primary purpose was
Hmm.
to know Him
Yes.
and to have relationship with Him.
Yes.
That is what we are called to do. What we get to do on the earth is just a place to fulfill our ultimate call.
That's right. That's right.
And then when we know Him, we know His heart. And His heart is that everyone else comes to the knowledge of Him, right?
Yeah. I've run into so many Christians, just like myself, before God awakened me to this, that their relationship with their God and our God is a me relationship,
Mm-hmm.
me and Him relationship. He's making me into what He wants me to be.
Mm-hmm.
He's giving me the needs that I have. I worship Him through myself. That's great, but that's not the totality of who God is.
Mm-hmm.
God is communal. he wants us to talk about us
Hmm.
and how I go over and see Jim that's laying out there in the ditch and
Hmm.
say, Jim, there's hope for you, man.
Hmm.
Even if you just say that and move on, just plant the seed
Yeah.
and don't be so inwardly me focused, be community focused. And when we become more outwardly focused, he automatically takes care of me.
Hmm.
That makes sense.
So seek first the kingdom of God and his righteousness,
And
his right,
all other
his
things.
right way of doing things, or the
Right,
right approach to life,
right.
which takes you out of that me focus.
Yep.
Because look at the ravens. They don't, they don't, they don't try. They just exist
Yeah.
in their creative nature, and God takes care of them.
Yeah. They
There's,
get up every morning and sing a song of glory to the Lord. Thank you for a new day.
yep,
And he feeds them.
yep. There's no lack.
That's right.
That seek the kingdom first, because then all things, the things that He knows we need, the me stuff,
Yes.
will be added.
Yeah. Yeah.
And when God adds it to you, just like when you were flowing through your career and technically didn't have the credentials on paper to be in the position that you were in, but if you look through Scripture, most of the people that were used of God in any fashion did not technically have the credentials to be in the position that they were in.
That's true.
David did
That's
not have the credentials
to be king.
to be king. He did not have the credentials to fight the lion nor the bear.
Yeah.
Definitely did not have credentials to fight Goliath.
No, sir.
But he obeyed the call and the nudging of God on his life, which positioned him to be in the right place at the right time with the word of the Lord as his only resource.
That's right, man.
No physical resource, no spear,
That's right.
no sword, but only the name of the Lord.
Yes,
And
sir.
that allowed him to step into the position
Yes.
of his destiny. And I think I've met so many people, and I know you have too, that don't know what to do. They're
Mm.
here. They feel trapped in maybe their job or their existence, miserable on a
Mhm.
daily basis. Can't wait for the weekend. Can't wait for this. It's always next, something else.
Next, next, next. Yes.
When they're not fulfilled, and it's like you're never gonna find a place of fulfillment in any person, any job, anything. It's only through your relationship with Him
That's
and the
it.
call that He gave you. And then whatever you do flows from that position. And you'll find yourself in places that you did not have the credentials to be in,
Yeah.
speaking to people that you had no idea you'd ever get to meet.
That's right.
And it's not for your glory or for your benefit, it's for the kingdom.
Yeah. Yes.
But, be,
Preach, Adam.
but because you're in that room, in that position, all of your actual needs, the things that make your heart actually happy,
Yes, sir.
because it's not money, it's not fame,
Nope. Nope.
it's not just titles.
Yep.
When you close your eyes at night, I don't care if that pillow cost you 1,000 or $2 from the dollar store. If you're not fulfilled with the call of God on your life,
Mm.
you will not be happy,
No, sir. No, sir.
because we were born to know Him,
Yep.
and that's where it all starts.
Certainly, 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 certainly.
Mm, I love it.
Yeah, man. That's awesome. That's my audience you're talking about. That's the people that I want him to put me in front of.
Yeah.
To say, yes, I understand that feeling of unfulfillment. And
Hmm.
you're trying your best to serve God. You're trying your best to be a good husband or a good wife. You go to church every Sunday, but you're unfulfilled.
Yep. There's
Yep.
still a longing in your heart that's unmet.
That's right.
Yep. People feel like they're on the third chapter of their life and they got a pen in their hand and they don't know what to write.
That's right. That's right. And running out of time.
Yeah. And feel the pressure of everybody else. And it's a lot of, and we're really bad, I think, to other people because we get frustrated in our own circumstances because we're not fulfilled. And then we begin to take that out on everybody else around us and then set
Mm-hmm.
expectations on their life.
Mm-hmm.
And you look back over, generations of the father, son, mother, children, parent children relationship, and parents putting their failed expectations on their kids, wanting them to walk in their footsteps that they thought they should have been in. You
Yeah.
know, the father that wasn't able to get the
Yeah.
scholarship to the D1 school,
Yeah.
forcing his kid to do something that the kid's not passionate about just because he's trying to live his life through his.
Trying to live vicariously. Yes.
And it puts people in a position of pain, and then they become adults, and then because they don't know who they are, because they were never allowed the moment or the time to understand who he was and to find out who he has made them to be and who they are. Because
Yeah.
I don't think we'll ever know who we are until we find out who he is.
That's exactly right. That reminds me of something. I walked you to the point of where uh, I understood it's not my credentials that had me where I was. It's his covenant with me and my mother,
Mm,
that keeps him placing me where he wants me to be.
mm,
Let me show you how you remember the story about uh, Peter and God, Jesus came to him after resurrection and said, Peter, do you love me?
mm-hmm.
He restored Peter then from those three denials.
Yep, 3 times.
This is the way he restored me after I made that ugly statement out of an unclean heart.
Yep.
One day I said, I got to go to work. And this is years after that.
Mm,
I go back to that same place that I worked. I got dressed because I had read in the paper that they had a opening for janitorial work.
mm,
That's all I saw myself as at that point.
mm-hmm.
But I was going to dress the part so I could get the part.
Yeah.
I was going to overdress the part so I could get that part, put it that way. So I walk in to this, they had this big open house where you can go and apply for jobs. And I walk in with a suit and tie, and I'm I am applying for the janitorial position.
Mm-hmm.
Fill out the paperwork, and they looking at me, and education. I put it down, high school diploma,
Mm-hmm.
experience, and I put it down because I was in the army. Blah 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 blah. I thought that would help me. And they go, okay, go out and sit in the hallway with those other people, and we'll get back with you. And I automatically thought, well, this is going to be a wasted morning. You know, everybody start going in and out of the door and leaving. So now it's 5 people left out there. They never have called me back in there.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm thinking, what's going on?
Mm-hmm.
They finally, it's me and this young lady sitting out there. She had a smart dressed lady, had a briefcase in her hand. And I'm thinking, well, she don't want to be the janitor, I'm sure.
Mm-hmm.
They called me into the office. When I got in there, Adam, it was 6 people sitting around this huge conference table. One was the circuit judge, one was the city manager, one was the chief of police, one was the juvenile court officer. I'm thinking, wow, where am I going to be cleaning up? You know,
Mm-hmm.
they start asking me questions. And they were all open ended questions as if I were in a situation, what would I do? I answered them, still having no idea what they're talking about.
Mm-hmm.
They said, okay, thank you very much, Mr. Stokes. Go back out and sit in the hallway. They called a young lady in. She stayed in about 10 minutes. She came back out and looked at me and rolled her eyes.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm thinking, well, I'm sorry. I can push a broom better than you, I bet you. you know, they called me back in.
Yeah.
And God answered my prayer.
Mm-hmm.
Congratulations, Mr. Stokes. You are now the new executive director of the Cabarrus One-on-One volunteer program.
Wow.
I'm like, what? I came up here to be a janitor, and I'm leaving the executive director
Mm.
of a program. He once again showed me, Ken, it's not about you.
Yeah.
It's about where I'm placing you.
Yep. Wow.
And for the next 8 years, that's what I did in 2 different places.
Mm.
Yeah, it is amazing. I
It's
went to school just wanting to get a degree
yeah.
in psychology so that I could at least, okay, maybe I can be a counselor
Hmm.
on the civilian level. Because nowadays you got to be educated, you got to pass the state exam, da, 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 da. So that's what I was on my way to doing at 55, at that late date.
Mm-hmm.
And I kept going. I kept thinking, oh, what am I going to school for? I kept going.
Mm-hmm.
My brother died. I said, I'm going to quit. He kept pushing me.
Mm-hmm.
When my brother died, I had a lapse. And I'm sitting here reading this book by Oral Roberts' name. I had it right here on my desk. Um, when you can see the invisible, you can do the impossible.
Right.
I was reading that and I'm like, wow. And I kept looking and I saw where he said God had called him to this place of field, just property. And he said, there you will build my university and my medical school, and people from all over the world shall be your students. When he said that, man, I saw myself standing on campus.
Mm-hmm.
I had no idea where campus was,
Mm-hmm.
but I saw myself.
Wow.
Within 3 days, I applied to Oral Roberts and they took me.
Mm.
I did my seminary there. And I thought, that's it. Okay, I got my master's degree, divinity, and okay, I can go back now and start. And at the third semester of my seminary, a professor told me, I've been reading your stuff, man. They did that in every level, uh,
Mm-hmm.
undergrad, master's. I've been reading your things, man, and what you're talking about is a needed issue. You might want to at least look at going and getting your doctorate.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, that's crazy, man. First of all, my wife is taking care of all the bills while I'm doing this.
Mm-hmm.
I need to get out and make some money.
Yeah.
But Adam, I learned there's some things better than money.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, his will is one of them.
Yeah. Yeah. He'll take care of the rest.
He'll take care of the rest. So now I end up in Liberty University in a doctoral program.
Wow.
And before I know it, here I'm standing on stage getting a doctorate in ministry.
Mm.
Remember, I was the guy that just went uptown to be the janitor.
Mm.
I'm a doctor of ministry.
Right.
So I asked him, what am I supposed to do with this? After my wife and I got back home, what am I supposed to do with this? My mom died.
Mm.
I really don't know what to do with this, Lord. So one evening, write a book.
Mm.
And it all come flooding back. I remembered stuff from my childhood that my wife said, how do you remember that? I don't know, babe, but I'm writing it down. I'm writing it down. I've been writing it down for 10 years, you know what I mean? But it all came together. And that's where the book came from.
Wow. It's amazing.
It is amazing.
And it's like, I think it's a proverb that says, man makes a plan, but the reply comes from the Lord.
Yes, sir.
And we're so conditioned to plan our life. We got to have a plan. Got to have a plan. Got to have, and it is wise to be organized and
It
to
is.
have some sort of direction with what you know, the information that you do know.
Yeah, it is.
But it is also very wise to keep the door completely wide open
Mm-hmm.
for the great counselor that at any time,
Mm-hmm.
if you want to redirect this plan or do anything you want to do,
Mm-hmm.
no, I'm here to obey your command.
That's right.
And I think that's the way we have to live. We have to be like, all right, this is what I think I'm supposed to be doing. And people always ask me, what do you think I should do? I'm like, well, what do you think you should do? What do you feel that you should do?
Mm-hmm.
What's the direction your heart is telling you, not your blood pumping muscle, but the passion inside you? Because God is faithful to
Yes.
heal himself. He's
Yeah,
not someone who plays hide and seek from us.
that's right.
If we ask, we receive.
That's right.
If any man lacketh wisdom,
That's
let
right. Let
him
him
ask
act.
God. Let him
That's
just
right.
ask. And
That's
then
right.
position yourself to listen. And Lord, teach me how to hear.
Yep.
Teach me how to hear. And then when I do hear, give me the faith to obey.
What? Say it again, Adam. Once I know, give me the faith to walk behind you.
The faith to obey.
Yes, man. That's it. I got to show you some stuff of mine.
So
Ooh.
true. Because that's when we position ourselves to partner with him
Yes.
to fulfill the longing of his heart, that all people come to know him. And God has positioned us strategically throughout this planet for such a time as this
Yes.
to walk together in unity, to bring his heart to people, not his rules and not his regulations, but his heart, the heart of
Yes.
the Father,
That's it,
calling
man.
the kids to come back home.
That's it.
That father that's got the robe and the ring ready to embrace the prodigals have who went off on their own because they were lost.
Yep.
And I think that's so cool that God is using us to do that because we're not going to be here forever.
No, man. This is dress rehearsal.
Life is temporary,
Yep.
and the older I get, and I know you got a few years on me, but the older I get, and I remember when I was younger hearing people say this, and I used to think there's no way. But the older I get, the faster time goes.
What?
And the more I realize the importance of taking advantage of every opportunity. And
Hmm.
if you feel like God has called you to do something,
Do it.
if you have a passion towards something, or if you're miserable in your job and you just hate it and you're only there because, well, it pays the bills, pause and say, Lord, I know this is not the place for me.
Hmm.
And I got to pay my car payment on the 15th. My mortgage is due.
That's right.
I overspent last month, so I'm short this month. But what do I do now?
Hmm.
What is the answer for me now? And I'll take the first step.
Yep.
And then once I take that step, you'll show me the second step,
That's it, man.
third step. And then guess what? You'll find yourself just like you did in the
Yep.
position you're calling.
That's exactly what happened.
Mm.
Exactly.
It's not
Yep.
complicated. I feel like we just make it complicated.
We do. Because we are so attuned to adhering to our common senses and our natural senses. We can't smell it, taste it, hear it, and feel it and touch it. It can't be real.
Yeah.
But there's no faith in that. I
Yep.
got this mouse in my hand. Where is it? I got this mouse in my hand. I know it's real because I got it in my hand.
Hmm.
But he's telling you, I got treasures that will abound and overflow in you in my hand that you can't see,
Yep.
but it's yours if you follow me.
Absolutely. And I think we have to be real careful on how we measure success because we live in a world system that has measured success by position and finance.
That's right.
And if your bank account has zeros that go on for a little bit, you are a success. But there are many wealthy people in the world that have failed in life because they forgot the most important thing. It's like the rich young ruler syndrome came to Jesus.
Yes, man.
And Jesus is not anti money, but his heart was positioned incorrectly.
Mm-hmm.
And so he was trying to get to the man's heart.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And the man ran away because he couldn't do it.
Couldn't see it. That's right.
And I don't know if this is true. This is just for entertainment purposes only, but I heard a biblical historian follow that because everybody wants to know who was that guy, who was the
Mm-hmm.
young ruler in Scripture. And this is not documented in Scripture, but there's historical documents outside of it, like Josephus and things that are interesting. But this biblical historian thought the man was Barnabas, who later came on to work with the Apostle Paul because somebody had to fund those missionary journeys. They did not fund.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So just an interesting side tidbit. I don't know if it's true. I think it'd be cool if it was. It doesn't
How
matter.
did they derive to know it was him?
Just through some, and I don't remember the steps exactly, but just through historical documents of who
Yeah.
the gentleman was, and the timelines match from the moment he met
Yeah.
Jesus. So,
Yeah.
because he was the young ruler at the time, so later on, after all of the very public, display of Jesus, everybody remembered that day when the ground shook and the dead raised and all the things were happening in
Oh yeah.
And that wasn't like to some quiet event. This was a historical event that still shakes the ground to this day,
Yes, sir.
that it could have been him. So, which is interesting. But God always is after our heart. And once he gets our heart, then the door's open for everything that we so actually long for. And it's just about the positioning of that. It's
Yeah.
just like the title of your book. I think you could have just written the title of your book and it would have been almost enough because we were born to know him.
Yeah.
And to know him is to know everything. That's the beginning. The fear of the Lord is the beginning of
Yes.
wisdom and knowledge
Yes. Yes.
because
Yes.
it positions us to walk with him.
Adam, my book that's gonna come to fruition soon
Yeah.
is not where it is where he led me to go, but my heart is for pastors
Mm,
and somehow giving them what he's telling me to say.
hmm
But I think I tried to do it prematurely
mm,
because I've run into you can't tell me how to be a pastor. You ain't never been a pastor. That kind I've run into that a lot. So I back up and say, okay, Lord, I know what you said. I know what you are calling me to do. How do I do it in a way that's nurturing versus finger pointing? You
yeah.
know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because that's a tedious position that they're in.
hmm
Everybody's pointing the finger of you better do right because,
Yeah.
but nobody's saying, Brother Loomis, I mean, Pastor Loomis, I know you have
mm
been our pastor for 20 years. You saw my kids grow up.
mm
You buried my mom.
hmm
You eulogized my dad. And for all those 20 years, now you're eulogizing my husband. Now I have to understand, Pastor Loomis, that you lost family members just like I did.
hmm
Those were your family members. If you've been their pastor,
Yeah.
how can I know you want to help me get over my grief. How can I help you?
Yeah.
Who asked that question?
Mm. Not many.
Who
Not
pastors the pastor?
right. Believe me, I know this firsthand. I'm third generation. My grandfather, Dale Owens, pastored for over 40 years before, well, 30 years before he met
Mm-hmm.
a timely death. But
Mm-hmm.
he came from a very small town, felt the call of God in his life early, went to Evangel University, um, met my grandmother. They started ministry. They were influential, shaped the foundation for my mother to step into, her passion, which was at an early age, she had a heart for missions. She because she was a pastor's kid. My grandfather, who had just such a booming presence, a great voice, just reminds me. His voice reminds me a lot of how you speak and sound.
Mm-hmm.
She learned how to play the piano and lead worship at an early age. So that fashioned her heart for ministry. Meanwhile, the Lord was working on my dad. My dad was not a part of a Christian home at all.
Mm-hmm.
Lived out in the middle of nowhere in east Ohio, and a pastor of a local small Assembly of God church came and knocked on their door when he was a young man and said, "We just want to introduce ourselves to you guys. We're pastors here at the Assembly of God Church in Jefferson. And if you ever want to go to church, let us know. We'll come pick you up." And
Mm-hmm.
my dad was the only one in that room. He had six other, siblings. He raised them
Mm-hmm.
and said, "I'd love to go." And they'd come and pick him up for church. And at 14 years old, he gave his heart to the Lord and felt the call to ministry.
Wow.
And so that passion to fight through the ministry and to get into churches and experience pain. I grew up seeing my mom and dad loving on everybody,
Mm-hmm.
but nobody loving on them. And I'd ride in the car. I mean, I was always nosy by nature. And I'd sit in the middle seat and I'd lean in to listen to the stories after we'd leave church,
Mm-hmm.
just to the problems that people were having and the situations in people's lives back and forth. And I could see the strain that it would put on my parents. And I would feel the same strain. And I remember as a small child feeling the weight of life that people carried, but then this interesting feeling of what can I do to help
That's right.
lift that burden? And
Right.
that can only be done. That's a calling, just like you experienced the call in your life to minister to people and help them in the places of pain. People don't understand the weight that ministers carry
Yeah.
when they feel the attacks, when the sheep start biting
Yeah.
the ankles of the shepherd.
How about that?
Then there's no relief, and it's just like they just move on from place to place, and it seems like, God, am I making a difference here, or am I just babysitting unsatisfied saints?
Hmm.
And there's a lot of pastors that are just sitting in dark rooms alone and nobody to help them and who understands,
Isolated.
because they have to put on this face, right? They have to put on
That's
this
right.
that I'm the man of power for the hour, and I don't have problems. I only have,
Yeah.
we're all people,
That's right.
and we all need each other.
Yeah.
We all need to love each other and have speak the truth in love, which is not condemnation,
Yeah.
not to fact check each other, but to love each other.
Excuse me. Yeah, that's my I think that's the next book.
Yeah,
It's called Pastor Me.
people need it.
Pastor Me.
People need it. And it's so cool because that translates to not only just to leaders, but as I told you earlier before we started the call, the book that you have is just a part of the message that God's given you.
Yes.
As you obey in one moment, other opportunities begin to open up.
That's exactly right.
And it's the plan of God is revealed as you walk by faith.
Mm-hmm.
You don't get no preview by faith.
That's right.
Abraham had to walk by faith.
Woo-hoo. Yeah, man. Yeah.
The closer you get, the more you see. Keep
Yeah.
walking.
Yeah. Yeah.
And if you don't grow weary,
Abraham, hold thy hand. Do not hurt that young man. Don't hurt him.
yep,
He got the knife drawn back, man.
yep,
Wow.
yep. And if you keep walking, you don't grow weary in well doing, but you do what you know to do in the moment, and you stay humble and you listen,
That's it.
God's going to see you through.
Yep.
Love it.
I do too, man. I do
Well,
too.
I'm excited for your book to come out. I'm excited for lots of stuff,
Yeah.
but just the things that God's going to do in the next season. I think this next year is going to be a wonderful, wonderful display of the goodness of God. In the darkest of times, the light of God always shines the brightest.
Yes, sir.
There's a lot of people that are afraid of all the news, and I encourage people all the time. If you're feeling anxiety, which I don't know about you, but I've never met so many people that say they're struggling with anxiety and fear and stress.
Yes.
And I'm
Yeah.
like, you got to control what you're listening to. You got to get yourself surrounded by positive, faith-filled people.
That's right.
Turn off the news. Put soft worship music in the background. Surround yourself with the atmosphere of heaven, because that's going to affect the way you think.
Yes, it is.
And as
Yes,
a
it is.
man thinketh in his heart, so is he.
Yep.
And so that I think God is going to do some amazing things
That is so true.
this year, and I'm excited.
That is so
Got
true.
a good plan. He's got a good plan for not only for you and I, but for everyone that's going to hear this content.
Yeah. Adam, I've been truly blessed, man. The surrounding cast that I have around me now
Yeah.
to help me put this word forward. Man, I cannot even ask for any more. I couldn't.
Well, it's good, and it's just the start of it too.
Yeah.
We've only just begun.
Yeah. Barbara.
It's so good. Well, thank you, my friend, and
Thank you, brother.
definitely be doing this again. And I'm just looking forward to seeing what God does next.
Yeah. Tremendous heart for God, man. I love you, man. That's good. That's good.
Just
Thank you, Adam.
You're welcome, my friend. I'll
Appreciate
talk
you,
to you soon.
brother. Okay.
All right. Bye bye.
Bye.